Good morning, Mr. Bistro Beat. Mr. Bistro Beat. Good morning, Japanese dude. Johan. Good morning. How you guys doing?
At 7 a.m. Eastern Time, we get American Airlines earnings. Estimated EPS 3 cents. Estimated revenue $16.71 billion.
Sorry, I guess that was too high. Good morning, Umar Ashraf. Alexander Lee. Good morning, boss. Piotr, what's up? You're from Pakistan? Observador. Okay. Too complicated to say that word. What's so funny, Ronald Leo? Leo the GOAT? Okay. Good morning from Slovakia. Cool. Love you, big fan. Bro. You're the cool person that's with me here, man. Hope we get a wonderful day. Yeah. US oil. I'm going to take a look on that right now, my friend. What's so funny? I don't even know, Mr. Piotr. How is your trading, man? How's your trading have been, Mr. Piotr? Still on those crazy big moves? Or are you taking less amount of points? What you doing, my friend? Dribbling the price section like a pro winger? Yeah, bro. Yesterday I avoided a bunch of bad moves, man. I missed the main one, but I caught some longs. Then I caught some shorts. I got a stop on one of the fundeds that was trading more aggressively, lost that funded, but the other 9 were cool. Crazy Asia movement. Yeah, I'm going to check that out right now. Let me see. Let me redo my studies, my friend. Hi, Mr. Obvious, long-time listener, first-time caller. Recovering, but still a long way.
At 7 a.m. Eastern Time, we get American Airlines earnings. Estimated EPS 3 cents. Estimated revenue $16.71 billion.
Whatever that means. Are you not interested in the prop firms, Piotr? I know you trade your cash account. 1 hour orb, what is that? It's the 1 hour. It's the 1 hour order block that formed right at this bottom. You know? It's the last red candle body before we turn to a bullish move. You know? So with that same definition, we could say that this is an order block, you know? It's the last green candle before we turned to a bearish move. You can see that it got tapped right here, rejected to the downside. The same thing happened here. This is an order block. Was the last red candle body of this downtrend before a bullish move, okay? And you can see that in the future, we tap those levels and we get a rejection. Oh, bro, I was drawing a funny thing without noticing, but sometimes it happens. But yeah, you can see that it tapped here, rejected, tapped here, rejected. Okay. And at some point it breaks, of course. And maybe you can draw even an order block at this candle right here. And you can see that it tapped from this order block to this order block and rejected. So it's a, you know, it's a concept and you can go crazy with it. On this move up, what was the last green candle before a bearish trend? What was the last green candle? Oh, was this candle right here. So let's mark out this body. It's a tiny one. Doesn't mean nothing, does it? Like this tiny one right here. Of course it doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean nothing until in the future. It taps that level and rejects. Of course, like what does this last little body green before bearish structure, why does that body matter? You know, like what, like doesn't make sense that this body matters. But look at this, where it tapped and rejected, where it tapped and rejected. Like it's like it doesn't work actually. Like makes no sense, but does, like, you know, it makes no sense, but it works, you know. Can you feel me, brother? Like it's so fugazi, you know.
Shortly expecting American Airlines earnings.
Bob and Tom show, bro. I don't know what that is. Actually, gotcha. Thanks. Okay, not convinced yet. Maybe in the future. Right now, I want to focus on your cash, brother. You're a very good trader. I think you would benefit of not risking your cash account every time. Maybe you trade both. Like I'm just saying, like you do. If you like swing trading, there's CFD prop firms. I think you would make a lot of money. please check US oil. Let's see that. US oil, since the start of the restart of the war, US oil is going up normally. It's a bullish trend.
American Airlines earnings coming through. Adjusted EPS 15 cents. A beat on estimates of 2.7.
I guess this trend line right here just broke.
Passenger revenue $15.21 billion.
Okay.
Miss on estimates $15.28 billion. Load factor 83.2%. Miss on estimates 84.
On the 1 hour, let's see the daily.
Available seat miles $81.84 billion. They see fully adjusted loss per share 65 cents.
Yeah, for me, the next target, the next immediate target is 96. Between 93 and 96 is the next immediate target. And of course, we have this swing high right here. That's also like 97 is the next target for oil. And this is going up because of the war. Like, it's trending up. I guess that inside a day trade, it's easier to take longs on oil than to take shorts. Like the longs are paying quickly on oil more than the shorts. But you can see that the majority of the move on oil happens like on Asia session. Like on New York session, it doesn't move much or gets a pullback. Usually on Asia, on London session, it's where the move happens. But I don't trade oil, brother. I don't trade oil at all. So for me, it's whatever. We just got earnings on right here. We got a bunch of earnings today. We just got earnings on American Airlines. It's dropping after that. I don't even know why, but today we have ECB interest rates, ECB rate statement, US initial jobless claims. Nothing major after that. Just like the earnings after market close. We have Intel and SAP after market close. Okay, but that's it. So with these candles, how do you predict today's movement? I did mistake. London was close to open, but I entered after NQ saw previous day low, but London did it again. I was out and didn't have the right to it. Okay, silent orbit. How do you predict today's movement? I don't predict anything, brother. I go with it. Predict is to it's sorcery. I don't do sorcery, brother. It's against my religion. I don't need to predict. I just need to wait to see what the market is doing, and I go with it, you know? Really appreciate your kind words. My results would disagree with the statement, good trader. Yeah, but like, yeah, I've seen you do good, brother. You predict today's movement by asking a magic 8-ball. It's 100% of the time is right, half the time, yeah. We don't predict, bro. We follow the trend, we study the candles. Yeah, but I understand, like, John Sparrow. I understand what you're asking. I'm just like saying, what I usually do, like this, like there's two things, bro. Like This clean chart is for me to understand like where we are in the price section. That's a bunch, bro. Like if I explain, for me to explain everything that I see, I need to take like 1 hour of talking, brother. Like I cannot do that. But like on a clean price section, no indicators, no nothing, I can track real easy where we are in the charts on the price section. Okay, so right here I can see just the price section, what it's doing. So what I start to gather information. That's what I do. I start to gather information, and I try to understand where we are in the price section. Where we are. No, you need to know if you're close to a bottom, close to a higher point, if you're in the middle of a range. You need to know where you are, because depending on where you are, you're going to get different reactions. Okay, so we are coming off a sweep of lows. Important thing to understand. We're coming off a sweep of lows. Okay. Before that, we are doing a bearish move. Okay. 2 informations already. From where the sweep originated, like from where this movement down started. This movement down started somewhere over here, where we broke this set of lows right here. Like we tested these lows, and these lows 3 times, and at some point we broke. So the move that swept down originated from here. This is where it started, because it broke this set of these levels that it was holding. At some point this candle broke it and swept down. So okay, if the move originated from here on the price section, it tells me that there's a pretty good chance we're going to retest that level. So that's why, like for like 4 or 5 days, I've been saying that at some point we were going to test those 350 levels. Okay, so I marked out a little zone right here. This is where the move originated. Okay, if it holds here like it did, the chances are we try to go down again. I'm not talking about fundamental analysis. I'm not talking about EMAs, or I'm not talking about nothing else. I'm talking just about clear price section analysis, like what the price section theory does. If I marked a lower high, a lower high, a lower high, I retest a breakout zone and I mark a lower high, guess where the price is going, brother? Like take a gamble, like where price is going. I guess it's going to form a new low like it formed here, a new low like it formed here, and a new low like it formed here. So if I'm marking a lower high again, guess what price may go, bro? You will go to mark a lower low again. Like you don't need to be smart, believe me. So this is the price section analysis. So I have this trend line right here that's indicating me that I have a set of lower lows, and I can even mark like a downwards channel, something like that, that indicates me that I have a set of lower lows. Okay, if I'm marking a lower high right now, guess where the price may go. Like just take a gamble, like wild gamble, like where my price may go. So my feeling for the day is that we're going to close a red candle. If I'm going to close a red candle, that's what you guys call a bias. My bias for the day is that we're probably going to close a red candle. Okay. But that won't define how I trade. That will define that I know if today closes a red candle, there's a pretty good chance we sweep lows of this green candle right here. Nice. So I know that I have, from where price is ticking right now to that low, I have 330 points. That's more than enough for me to take trades to the downside. That's enough movement for me to take 50 points trades, 60 points trades, 100 points trades easily, okay? Because I have space to go for. If we lose this low, we can accelerate the movement and whatever it is. If this day doesn't close red, where can it go? Well, we can go inside that 350 zone already. Again, 350 zone again. We have the trend line for us to go for. If we sweep this high right here, 363, the next target is the trend line. So from where price is sticking right now to the sweep of highs is another 300 points. To the trend line is 500 points. So okay, I know that we have range to go for. We have movement. So based on my price section analysis of the daily chart, I see that we have a real good chance that today is a red day on the candle. If today is a red day, I need to understand where price can go realistically. I can say that it's going to drop 5,000 points, but that's not realistic. You know, realistically, we can go to 28,700. And realistically, we can go up until the trend line about 600, or at least we can break this green candle high. Because I don't know if you understand this, but this candle forward, everything is in sidebar. This red candle is in sidebar, and this red candle is in sidebar. So we have these breakout levels to go for. Okay. Now that I understand that, what I need to do, I don't swing trade. I don't swing trade. I don't position trade. I day trade. So where do I day trade? I day trade in the 5-minute chart. So now that I know the targets, like bro, and all of this that I'm saying, I think in like 5 seconds. All of this that I'm saying to you, I think in 5 seconds. I take a look at the charts and it's already set in my mind in 5 seconds. I don't need to go through all this process. That's one of the things that happens. Like I take a trade, you guys don't even understand why. And you guys, bro, why are you doing that? Like, bro, I'm thinking about this like in 5 seconds and I'm making the decision. I already know. So on the 5-minute, what is going on the 5-minute? Well, we marked a high here, another lower high, another lower high, another lower high. Well, let's see the bottoms. Well, we have a lower low, lower low, lower low. So we're kind of going down on the 5-minute. Okay. If we're kind of going down on the 5-minute, we can use a trend line or whatever it is. But what I'll try to do is, if I get price action movement that shows me that we're marking lower highs, I'll try to take shorts as high as possible. If for some reason I start seeing movement up, I'll try to take longs as low as possible. That's what I do every single day. Now, okay, I know that we have this range right here. Now I need to understand where the support levels are. Now I need to understand where the support levels are, okay? I know that we have this 1 hour orb right here. It's a very important level. We had this orb right here that respected. So it's important level. The highs of the sweep range, it's already marked, so that's an important level. I guess we have a bunch of order blocks on the way up. So I know that close to here is where the support, the resistance is, and close to here is where the support is. Okay, so everything, if price comes to this zone right here, I'll wait on the shorts. I'll stop taking shorts because I want to take a short from here to where the support level is. At the support level, I'm not betting on the breakout. I don't bet on breakouts. You know, after the breakout happens, confirmation and everything, then I go for the next level. From here up, where the resistance is. Okay, the resistance level is between here. So I want to take trades going up to that, and my targets will be at the resistance level. Okay, that's the concept. So what I need to go for the targets up, it is structure. I need to see structure going up. So on the 1 minute, what I want to see is the 1 minute going up, and I go long, and I go long until we get that to the resistance level right here. If the 1 minute gives me bearish structure, I'll try to go short as high as possible until we get to that support level. And after we get that, I wait. And sometimes we mark support and resistance levels inside a day. And there's concepts of how price is moving, what type of candles are we forming, are we getting deeper pullbacks or shallow pullbacks. Remember, like this is a little bit of a detailed explanation of what I see in the charts. You know, if you ask someone, and you ask someone like, bro, explain to me your strategy, and the guy says like one line, and one line is his strategy, something's off, you know. He either doesn't even understand how complex day trading is, or his strategy is just like BS, you know. I said like, bro, I need like 5 hours to explain everything I do in depth. To explain in depth everything I do, I need 5 hours. It's that's why it's funny when someone comes in and goes like, what's your buyers for the day, bro? Like, what does that matter? Like, how can that help you, bro? And yeah, of course, I use to help me understand on the last part of this of what I do. I stopped saying well, like, if we're moving up, after all that I did, if we're moving up, I try to go long as low as possible. If we're moving down, I try to go short as high as possible. How can I know where's low as possible or high as possible? How can I know that? You can use order blocks, you can use EMAs. That's when the indicators come in. Like usually view up is an important level. It gets respected a lot. Usually the 21 EMA, the 9 EMA, the 50 EMA are important levels. Usually a trend line is important. A support and resistance level is important. Order blocks are nice. Previous day high, previous day low. So now that I understand to where price can go, how much it can go, and I understand market structure, I know that we are forming a high, lower high, lower high. I understand that the price is trying to go down because we are forming lower lows as well. I understand that the price is trying to go down. So where I will enter? I will enter as high as possible. Where is high as possible? It's close to EMAs, it's close to view up, it's close to order blocks, it's close to trend line resistance, you know? So one of the worst things to do, in my opinion, in a market like this is the market is trending down. When the market sweeps down, you go, oh, I'm getting a breakout. And you go short here. You're going short. There's an 80% chance that it's the end of the movement there. 80% chance. It's a 20% chance that after this break, it continues like dropping down. There's an 80% chance that it sweeps this low, go a little bit down, and starts pulling back. So I don't want to enter at the breakout. I want to enter where we have discount. And where do we have discount? Like I said, close to trend lines, close to view up, close to the EMAs. That's where the discount is. That's it. Simple. Isn't it simple? Like the last 30 minutes of explanation, isn't that simple? Like, so the next time someone enters the chat and goes like, what's your bias for the day, Leo? You guys take that clip of 30 minutes and you send to them, okay? And I'm probably behind on message a lot. There doesn't need to be a correlation to oil and NQ. I agree to that. The market is decoupled. I agree to that, Mr. Bistro. Sunny Trader, good morning. Not winning. You got 5 funded max accounts last week. Blue one, and he told me to do. Yeah, Mr. Not winning. I don't know what happened, bro. Like, I don't know what happened to that. Maybe you got rebilled again in your credit card, maybe. Okay. Check if your credit card got rebilled. Good morning, Trading Pennies. You need coffee before listening to common sense? Yeah, I went on a rant on there. Abdul Backdash, good morning. Leo, good morning, Mr. Abdul. How you doing? Born Hunting, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Yo, please tell us why. Yeah. Souped, good morning. What's your bias for the day, Leo? I just missed all the spiel. Yeah, go like rewatch that later, or whatever, whenever you want. Maybe I can do like a cut of that and post it as a video. If anyone missed what Leo said, I would rewind and go through what he said because there's a lot of good info there. Thank you, Mr. Bistro Beats. I'm thinking I'll talk to Pasha. Maybe I cut that part and do and post it as a video on the YouTube channel. I'm being funny. Yeah, Mr. Joss is always messing with us. Good point. I'll check. Thanks. Okay. That's why he's the GOAT. I'm not the GOAT, brother. What's your gold? Let's see what gold is doing, actually. Oh, gold dropped a lot. Yeah, bro. Everyone that is longing gold, thinking that is going to go to 6,000 bucks. Rather, rest in peace. Like it's going to take like years for gold to go to 6,000 again, or market crash like 1929 style. And even that, people won't have money to buy gold probably.
EU's Calais says recent threats by Yemen's Houthis to impose maritime blockade on Saudi Arabia pose a direct threat to regional stability and constitute dangerous escalation. Navigation must be unimpeded in the Strait of Hormuz as well as in the Red Sea.
But bro, what is this scandal?
Actions that endanger international shipping and lives of seafarers.
What happened at Asia Open, bro?
Remains firmly committed to protecting freedom of navigation in the Red Sea and surrounding international waters.
I don't even know what to do with gold, bro. Take a short, basically, but like, what is this scandal, man? Yeah, it's going to that low, basically, is what it's doing. It just broke this level, maybe retests. Maybe it takes like a retest of this level. Yeah, and we talked about that level. Like, that's one of the uses of the EMA. So we talked, this is the daily chart on MNQ. We talked about that 350 level. So when you use the EMAs for confluence, you see that you have the 9 EMA, the 50 EMA, they are all aligned to the downside. Now the 90 MA crossed below the 50 MA. That's usually a bearish signal. So it's not one thing that you use to understand what the market's doing. Like I try to get all the confluence together to have a clear picture of where the market is going, you know. So and bro, there's no shortage of trades to be taken. No shortage. The market is not dying. It's not going to close and never open again. If you don't take a trade today, you're going to take a trade tomorrow. If you take a stop loss today, you can recover tomorrow. All of that, all of those things, brother. Like I talked about with Pasha and you guys yesterday, like day traders, swing traders or whatever, but day trading, you need to have like a goldfish memory, bro. Like you need to forget. You took a trade, it was a green trade, beautiful. Forget that trade. Next one. You took a trade, was a stop loss. Okay, forget that trade, go to the next one. Because if every trade you take, or everything that goes wrong when you're day trading, if it hangs over your head, the chances of you making bad decisions on the next trade are huge. Are huge, brother. Huge. So, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I try to forget, bro. If I took a trade and it was a massive green trade, it's fun. I don't get that excited. You forget, next trade. If you took a trade is a stop loss, you don't need to be beating yourself for the next 5 hours because you took a stop loss. If the market made a swing and took you out, bro, forget it. Go to the next one. The market doesn't care if you're pissed or not. If you think that the market did something, if Trump tweeted and the market like swing and got you out at break even, the market doesn't care, bro. Like you are the only person that gets affected by it, you know? If you have that lingering over you, bro. So, and don't be in a hurry. Like as we're talking about this topic, don't be in a hurry to take a trade. Like there's no rush. Rip bag holders, yeah. Yeah, I don't even know what that candle was, bro. Let me join the Discord, actually. I always forget to do that, man. Okay, I'm at the Discord. Should cut and do a video, Leo. Yeah, I'll try to do that. I'll do a cut of that part and post it as a video. You think Asia was the reason of that bubble on gold and silver? Okay. We're on shorts on silver from around 110. Nice. Quickly forget about a bad week. This one can be better. 100%. The weekends are there for you to reset. That's why I don't like to go into the weekend having a bad day on Friday. Sometimes that happens. And with time, you learn to just like forget about it. But at Fridays, I like to take it slow, you know? Just because it's better for me if I go into the weekend with a clear conscience that I didn't do any dumb stuff. Like it's always like that. It's like for me when I was starting, it was like Fridays and last day of the month was the worst days. Like Fridays and last day of the month. I don't know why. And now like we at the 23rd of July. Brother, if my month is not good by the 23rd, like on the last 7 days is not where I'm going to make my money, brother. You know? It's all those little things that makes you, you know, makes you avoid bad decisions. You know? Like today's the 23rd of July. By now, my month is already set, brother. Like if it is a good month, it's already a good month, and if it's a bad month, it's probably not getting better. You know, if you think like I think like weekly, monthly, quarterly, I think about those stuff. So like if I make like $100 each day on every account for the remainder of the month, it's good enough. Like it's not going to change how the month went. If it's good, it's going to get a little bit better. If it was bad, I'm going to like have a little bit of conscience of at least I'm taking trades, doing closing green days. And when August comes, I will try to make it better, you know? It's from Finding Nemo. Yeah. Yeah. That goldfish memory, yeah. If gold holds 4K after war stop, we might see a higher gold price. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Gold will spike probably if we see some recession talkings or I don't even know, but like I don't understand that much about gold, but bro, one thing that I understand is how to day trade, so that's it, brother. I try to understand a little bit more every day about the overall markets, but that's not where I shine, my friend, if you understand. Higher low? You think it's going to form a higher low here? Need to hit my coffee again. I talk too much. Yeah, if it's going to form a higher low, like right here would be the spot actually. I think we have like this order block right here. And it can be one of the things that helps. Let's mark that out. And bro, and I talked to all of those things, and the funny thing is that I need to follow my own advices every day. Like there's a clear difference that I've learned is that knowing what to do, knowing what's the right decision to make, and making the right decision are two separate things. Like sometimes you have it clear in your head that you shouldn't be taking longs or you shouldn't be taking shorts, but guess what you're doing, brother? Like one after the other. Like that's the main difference. Barn Hunter, you can talk gold. Yeah. I understand a little bit of the process of the markets. Like when people are a little bit afraid, they go out of stocks and go into gold or bonds and everything. But at some point, I don't know, like when a market recession, I don't know, like I think we will need to make gold go up to all-time highs again. Like we need something. Taki, morning Leo and everyone. Today's going to be a good day. Good day. Okay. Let's hope we get a good day today, my sir. My brother. Premod, okay. Market is very volatile at open. Does it respect market structure at open? Yeah. Whenever market it's volatile, it's difficult for it to respect structure. So that's why it's really good. Like the best decision you can make is to wait 50 minutes at market open, because with 50 minutes of price action, you can start having a clear understanding of what's going on, you know? If it's sideways, you're going to spot that it's sideways within the first 15 minutes. If you have a clear direction, you're probably going to spot that as well, you know? And then you can make a better decision of what's going to be your next trade. Like at market open, like the first 15 minutes is usually, it's not taking a gamble, but it's something that it's more of a feeling than whatever. We are squeezing down, my friends. Sorry. Yeah, we are squeezing even further down. This trend line that I was talking about yesterday, that I was using yesterday, on the overnight session, it got broken. We formed lower highs, we're breaking lows, so I guess we're moving down. This 1 hour order block is a clear target, in my opinion. Clear first target. Of course, the lows, the swing lows are important as well. Yeah, it's a big candle. I love smashing TPs before anyone is awakened in your town. Yeah, that's beautiful, my friend. Yeah, the freedom, the freedom. Ugh. I'm going to hit up a coffee and I'll be back 1 second.
Google discloses SpaceX holdings. Google say $80 billion of SpaceX holdings subject to short-term lockup. And Google says it holds $94 billion in SpaceX shares after IPO.
Filter, Leo, do you remember when I told you guys about my boss that was shorting in Q with like 20 contracts on his cash account? I don't remember, but like what happened to that dude? He was holding before the crash. Made money, okay. Went long, made money, then went short once again and held through that squeeze. Oh. Yeah, bro, like, but he actually do know what he was doing, or it was more like a gamble that paid off? He was getting lucky. What was it? Like he was getting lucky? Bro, now I have an audio capture device, so my microphone is a little bit more professional. I don't even know how to configure it to be good. I hope it's better, or at least like more reliable. I mean, there's no like analysis. He just looks at the market and guesses, so we can call that a gamble. Yeah, and sometimes they make way more money than us, bro. Like every day here, struggling. There's one thing that is for certain, like when you don't know the risks you're taking, sometimes it's easier. Because once you know, you cannot you cannot like avoid it in your head. And that makes you second guess. So but he has some knowledge. He has some knowledge. So yeah, like he got liquidated on one account for around 1.5 million. Oh my god. So bro, but it's probably like he's a millionaire. He's negative 2 million right now. Yeah, if he hold through that squeeze up, like you get liquidated, brother. Because sometimes like he made money taking the longs and taking the shorts, but on the next like trade that he takes, maybe he over leveraged because like he's on a roll, so he over leverages, you know. This is why you want to become a short time trader. Like Leo and Pasha, long holding is always a problem. Yeah, there's ways to do it, you know. Like if you're taking swing trades or longing NQ, like if you're taking massive trades that takes like weeks and weeks to develop, or it's not even a trade, maybe it's a position, you need to survive the drawdowns, you know. So you cannot be over leveraged. You cannot be leveraged a lot. Doesn't make sense. On day trading, it makes sense that you use a lot of leverage, but on bigger trades, lengthwise, like time-wise, it doesn't make sense that you use a lot of leverage. I want to get to a point where I only do swing trades, like to hold trades for like 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. That's what I want to do. Bro, I won't be 70 in day trading, bro. There's no way. I don't want to be 70 years old and day trading by choice, okay, but like day trading because it's how I pay my bills. I don't want to do that. At some point, I just want to have a bunch of money invested. Like, let me take a long here. Like, let me be liquidity on this sync funded account. Okay, I want to be the liquidity. Can you guys let me be the liquidity for once? Can I for once not be the guy that is sweeping the liquidity? Can I be the liquidity for once? Easy pullback to the 9 EMA, bro. Like, just wait and see. What are the chances that I don't get swept out of this trade? Usually ends bad. No, bro. Like, a Japanese dude. Like, you basically say that all the big hedge funds in the world are losers, brother. Like, how it doesn't end bad. If you know what you're doing, it doesn't end bad. Like, bro, Warren Buffett makes $1 million every 7 minutes of profits. Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, he makes $1 million of profit every 7 minutes. And he only holds long term. So it's not what you're doing. Is the question is if you're doing right, you're going to make money. Whatever it is, if you're taking micro scalps or if you're holding like for 10 years a position, it's not what you're doing, it's how you're doing, and if what you do is profitable. The way you approach the market is profitable. Gene Simons makes like billions of dollars. Like he's dead now, but like the Medallion Fund made billions and billions of dollars of micro trading like 30,000 times a day. And Warren Buffett makes billions of dollars by holding positions for a long term. So it's the exact opposite of each other. Like you cannot be more opposite of each other when you compare like how the Medallion Fund works and how the Berkshire Hathaway works. Like they are the exact extreme opposite. One takes 30,000 micro trades every single day, and the other holds positions for like 10 years. And both make billions and billions of dollars. So it's not what you do, it's how you do, and if what you do is profitable. Yeah, you want to know one position to hold forever? Bro, just buy the S&P. Like, you cannot get wrong on 30 years of buying the S&P. You're probably going to get retired. If you have like 20 years old and you spend the next 30 years buying the S&P whenever you can,
says the civil nuclear deal, there will be no enrichment.
When you're 50, you're retired, basically.
States Department of Energy and Saudi Arabia, which pertains only to non-military use, such as the ones that
the problem is that people don't want to wait that long. They you know, they are not. They cannot do that.
Subject to Saudi Arabia joining the very respected and successful Abraham Accords. The United States is not opposed to civil, non-enriched nuclear facilities.
Next day, he went and bought a GT 63S. Yeah. He's balling, bro. You lose 1.5 million and buy a GT 63S. He's balling. Yeah, like, yeah, but Buffett and institutions have a bunch of team analysts. Yeah, that's an example of, like, the example is not you're not going to get the profitability or the advantages of having like a bunch of analysts and money to spend and everything. That's not the example that I'm trying to tell you. The example is if you find a way that to be profitable, doesn't matter what you do. Something as simple as I'm going to buy the S&P whenever it drops 5%. If it drops another 5, I buy again. And when if it drops another 5, I buy again. Whenever from a high to a low, it drops 5%, I go long on the S&P. Do that for 30 years. You're probably going to get a nice retirement. Like even if you buy like 300 bucks, 500 bucks, 1,000 bucks, like you save your money, and whenever the S&P drops 7%, 5% in a day, all that money that you save, go long on the S&P. But what people do, what does retail traders do? Whenever S&P is at all-time highs and everybody's talking about, bro, S&P is at all-time high, that's when they go on. They don't want to go in after a drop. It's the same behavior with Bitcoin. Same behavior. Whenever Bitcoin is at all-time highs, people are going on. Like they should go long now that it dropped. Now it's at like half price. But who wants to go long on Bitcoin right now? Nobody. Like that's when you go in, brother. That's when you get the discount. It's the same, bro. It's the same thing that I talked when I was explaining a little bit earlier. You want you on the market. Like there's imagine, bro. Just imagine. You sell tires. You have a tire shop, and you sell your tires for like 100 bucks, but you buy those tires for 120 from the factory. Yeah, I'm going, like, look at the logic. Yeah, the factory is selling the tires for 120 bucks. I'm going to buy those tires for 120 bucks. And at my store, I'm going to sell it for 100. Like, that's the mentality of people. Like, that's actually, that as dumb as it sounds, that's the mentality. Whenever Bitcoin is at a $120,000 is where people go long. And when it drops to 80, they get out. Every single time. And it drops to 50, they get out. So they basically buy expensive price and sell cheap price. You should be doing the opposite. Whenever it's very expensive, you should be looking to get out. And whenever it's cheap and nobody wants it, that's when you should be looking for to get in. That's why the trades that I take, it's always as close as possible to VWAPs, EMAs, because it's the same logic. It applies. Trend lines is when the price is cheap, you go in. When the price is expensive, you get out. If you're going long, of course. And if you're going short, the same thing. When it's very, very, very expensive, nobody wants to take a short on it. It's probably the best spot to take shorts. Brother, I'm going to take a look at silver, and whoever was here, like the people that were here, they can confirm. Like, let me take a look at silver right here. Like, if Piotr was here, 100% was here, the mods were here, Bistro was here, a bunch of people were here. We witnessed that crash on silver. We witnessed that. So, the first time that I ever talked to Pasha was to correct some people that were talking about silver. I was like, bro, I like this stream a lot. Some people are talking some nonsense about silver. And I talked to Pasha offline. I was like, bro, can I enter the Discord and explain something about silver? I entered the Discord, gave my spiel about silver, and Pasha was like, yeah, that actually makes sense. And we start talking off stream, and we bonded a little bit, and I ended up talking to him every day, ended up participating on the stream, and that's it. That's like actually the first time that I actually say what happened of how I entered the stream, but that's the facts. Bro, whenever silver were going up, I was like, brother, calm down. And people were where is it? Brother, at this day right here, that gave this massive squeeze up and silver hit like 115 bucks. People on the chat were saying, I'm starting, like, bro, I'm not joking. People on the chat were like, I'm starting a retirement fund on silver. I'm going to go long on silver for the next like 10 years to retire. People are saying that on the chat. Like, how crazy is that? Silver is a commodity, brother. How can you retire on a commodity, brother?
3.62% July 22nd versus 3.61% July 21st.
Like how dumb that sounds. People were so crazy about this huge spike on silver, that people were saying on the chat that they were starting to buy silver to retire. People are trying to retire on a commodity. Like how dumb that sounds. Commodities are seasonal, brother. And what you know what I was doing? I was doing the most boring thing. I was going on the monthly chart and I was trying to show people that across the last 50 years, there was 2 times where silver got a huge demand and spiked a bunch. And at this time right here, it took 31 years to recover after the bubble burst. The bubble burst took 31 years to recover. From here, when it crashed, look at that crash. For some reason, in 1979, silver got a huge demand. For some reason, I don't even know why. I don't care. And it dropped, lower high, that cat bounce. It took 31 years to recover. And for some reason, in 2010, silver got a huge spike again. A huge demand. And guess what happened? The bubble burst again. And took another 14 years to recover. So guess what, my friends? You think that silver is going to 121 anytime soon? You're delusional. So what I was saying to people is, if you made money on this huge spike on silver, get out. I was telling people to get out every single day. Every single day. You know? And people, when it dropped, they were going long again. And bro, good luck. I don't think it's going up there anytime soon in the next like 10 years, bro. Because the thing about silver is there's enough silver in the world for whatever demand they come up with. The problem is that there's a time between when the demand appears and the production to supply that demand happens. There's a delay. Like it takes months for all those big miner companies to, bro, yeah, now silver is very expensive. It's worth to put all the machines towards silver, and takes time for you to mine that silver, do everything until the demand is filled by the supply. And whenever that happens, guess what? The bubble bursts. It's a commodity. So that's I'm just saying all that because that's the behavior of people. Like they want to buy when things are over here. They don't want to buy when things are crashing. You know? Same thing about Bitcoin. Same thing about Bitcoin. It's the same thing about Bitcoin. Like people want to buy here, but they don't want to buy here. So it's not about what you do, or if you're a retail trader, or if you like a huge hedge fund with 100 analysts. Doesn't matter. What matters is how you approach the market and what's your behavior towards the market. Silver is going to 300. Lewis crazy. Go along, brother. 10x leverage. The Hunt brothers out of Dallas tried to corner the market on silver in 1979. Okay, I didn't know that story. I'm going to check that out to see what happened. It's interesting. Whenever that they have, and gold did the same thing. Like people talk about gold as this huge, supreme investment. Go on the monthly chart and take a look back. It's just that. Go on the monthly chart and take a look back. Like the last time gold spiked in 2011, it took 9 years to go back after the drop. 9 years. And that happened over and over and over.
And the ECB rate statement.
Of course, this last spike up was huge, massive, crazy.
Looking at some analyst commentary.
Who knows how many years it will take for it to go up again.
Thursday, as policymakers assess the effects of 25 basis point rate hike delivered in June. The decision will probably be unanimous, while the governing council is likely to maintain a data-dependent stance. Renewed tensions in the Middle East reinforce our conviction, and that of markets, that the tightening cycle is not over yet. Energy prices have reversed the decline that followed the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the US and Iran.
But look at the chart of coffee Arabica. They returned to all-time highs in 2025.
And dealing a major blow to hopes that traffic through the Strait of
Yeah,
Hormuz
commodities,
might
man.
normalize
It's
soon.
seasonal. It's just like I said. Commodities are seasonal.
In this environment,
And
ECB
the exception
President
is the
Lagarde
rule of the
will
dumb, bro.
likely refrain from pushing
Don't
back
get
against
caught
the
on that.
market's rate
Let's
hike
see what happens with
expectations.
coffee.
This would indicate a high likelihood of a rate increase in September, when a fresh set of ECB staff projections will provide the Governing Council with a more comprehensive assessment of the medium-term inflation outlook, leaving the door open for further action if needed.
Yeah, more on demand and easy to fulfill, like cattle, coffee, corn, like orange juice. Supply and demand of those things can get bad and good real quick. You know, it's seasonal. It's basically seasonal. Like commodities are good things for it to go on a swing trade or a position trade, because once it starts trending, it's going to trend for a while. You know, I don't have like, I have max a year on coffee on trading view. I cannot go back that much. But commodities are supply and demand. It's basically that. Our supply and demand. And for each commodity, there's a different structure, a different approach, you know. Gold is your hedge against inflation. Yeah, on the last, like, gold is good, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you go, like, whoever bought gold in 2011, it took like 10 years to recover. 10 years. Can you withstand 10 years of drawdown? That's the problem. Now that it ran up, it's beautiful. If you're long and you made money out of gold going up, it's good. But like whoever bought gold in 2010, 2011, it took like 9 or 10 years to recover their investment, just to come back to zero, you know, and then like it 3x, 5x. It's beautiful. But you have those periods, long periods of time that you have major drawdowns as well. Like imagine how many people are long gold at 5,500, brother. They're going to endure a heavy drawdown for years and years, probably. Again, Japanese dude, the exception is the rule of the dumb, my friend. Don't get caught in the exception, thinking that that is the rule. The rule on commodities is that it's seasonal. Like, supply and demand affects commodity, like in the real world. Like the NASDAQ maybe gets detached to the real world. You know? But commodities, you cannot get detached. The price don't get detached to the real world, bro. on commodities. So it's heavily affected by seasonal supply and demand. Your demand for coffee is humongous, yeah. Mine too, my brother. Mine too. And once you start taking like, yeah, and once you start having like good coffee, very good coffee,
15 a.m. Eastern time, we get the ECB
you cannot go back.
Forecast
And
no
it
change
is
on the prior
expensive.
2.4%. ECB deposit rate forecast no change on the prior 2.25%. And the ECB rate statement. Looking at some analyst commentary, Wells Fargo say we expect the ECB to leave rates unchanged, keeping the deposit rate at 2.25%, while inflation remains above the ECB's 2% target. Recent data has been encouraging, with June headline and core inflation moderating from earlier highs. However, renewed tensions in the Middle East continue to pose upside risks to energy prices, which could complicate the disinflation process and delay further progress in underlying inflation. The ECB's relatively hawkish tone comes despite the slowing growth backdrop. Wavering consumer confidence, moderating wage growth, and soft forward-looking PMI surveys suggest activity may remain subdued across the euro area. Economic weakness has been concentrated in Germany, where industrial activity and external demand remain under pressure, while service and tourism economies such as Spain have shown more resilience. An uneven growth picture complicates the outlook, but is likely to outweigh the ECB's priority of ensuring inflation returns to target. Easing inflation pressures support a hold next week, but we do not expect the ECB to signal that the inflation fight is over. We continue to expect one additional 25 basis point hike later in the third quarter, likely September, although incoming inflation, wage, and energy data will remain critical to that outlook.
Looking like we're going to ride the EMAs lower today. Yeah, maybe that happens. I was at the Russell, bro. I was not even understanding what's going on. I was at the Russell. Earnings were good overall. Yeah, guys, if you're enjoying the stream and you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, my friends. That would be awesome if you guys do that. Hit the like button as well. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. It's always a good thing to do for us. And we thank you guys very, very much every single day. Gold generated sell targets for your algo. Okay, Sonia, good luck. Tesla and Google bad reaction. Sometimes it sells off after earnings.
1 minute remaining. I'll lead with the ECB deposit rate.
Yeah, right now we have ECB interest rate, ECB rate statement, ECB deposit rate. And after that, 15 minutes after that, we have initial US jobless claims.
Seconds. No change, no change. Rate remains unchanged at 2.25% as expected. ECB interest rate, no change, no change. Rate remains unchanged at 2.4% as expected. Looking at the rate statement now, ECB says outlook for energy prices, while highly volatile, currently stands close to baseline of June Eurosystem staff projections and well above levels recorded prior to conflict in the Middle East. Uncertainty remains high and fully inflationary impact of energy shock is yet to play out. With today's decision, the ECB remains well positioned to navigate uncertainty caused by the conflict. We will follow a data-dependent and meeting-by-meeting approach to determining appropriate monetary policy stance. In particular, ECB's interest rate decisions will be based on its assessment of inflation outlook and risks surrounding it, in light of incoming economic and financial data as well as dynamics of underlying inflation. ECB is not pre-committing to a particular rate path. Interest rates APPM Pandemic Emergency Purchase Program portfolios are declining at a measured and predictable pace as Eurosystem no longer reinvests principal payments from maturing securities. ECB stands ready to adjust all of its instruments within its mandate to ensure that inflation stabilizes at its 2% target in the medium term and to preserve smooth functioning of monetary policy transmission. Euro-dollar holds losses after ECB down 0.2%.
Jobless claims indicates if people are getting fired or not, you know. There's a bunch of news that indicates a bunch of different things at the same subject, but
Trump on Truth Social
it's
says
one of those.
A year ago the US attacked very powerfully the Houthis for their interference with commerce and trade by shooting at ships. Unfortunately, now they're starting up again, shooting at 2 Saudi Arabian ships last night. It's saying that if they do this again, the US will hold Iran responsible, and the Houthis are a surrogate and are a proxy of Iran, and major military punishment will be inflicted upon Iran and, of course, the Houthis themselves. So again, just keep an eye on the market reaction from the markets. Just saw a little bit of volatility, not really that much of Trump's Truth Social comment there. It's a tiny bit of downside move from the S&P 500. A little bit of movement towards the upside on the Dixie. WTI, a little bit of strength there, but again, not so much of a movement overall. Again, Trump says US will hold Iran responsible for further future Houthi strikes.
Oh, my brother. Whatever that means. You know? Any fun topics to talk about, guys? I think I'll try to go long.
According to trading sources, Saudi Aramco offers more crude cargoes from Egypt's Mediterranean city Cairo port as Red Sea disruptions persist. Again, that's according to trading sources. Traders keep ECB wages steady, seeing 48 basis points of hikes by the year end. We have also posted out the ECB rate statement on the feed for you to read through. Germany's 10-year bond yield now up less than 1 basis point at around 3.188%. We're seeing Eurozone bond yields dip slightly after ECB decision. Germany's 2-year bond yield now up 1 basis point on the day at around 2.858%.
Yeah, Trump and his posts, sometimes it pisses me off as well, but sometimes it gives good volatility. I just think that closing this candle with a wick on the downside, there's a real good chance we see a spike up after that.
Ten minutes ago now to get the US industry jobless claims forecast 210k prior 208k, with a range of 220k to 195k. Continued jobless claims forecast 1.809 million, with a prior 1.805 million, with a range of 1.822 million to a low of 1.80 million. Also, we get the Canadian retail sales month-on-month forecast 1% prior 0.5%, with a range of 1.1% to a low of 0.2%. Let's get the Chicago National Activity Index forecast 0 prior minus 0.1. Also, Canadian core retail sales forecast 1.3% prior 0.1%. Keeping an eye on the NASDAQ 100, just extending its decline here. NASDAQ 100 futures extending drop to 1%.
I'm going long on this short sweep right here. That's what I'm trying to do. Like huge volume. This is the news candle. The chances of us sweeping this candle up, it's humongous. How do you guys say that? Yeah, the only problem is that we have that jobless claims news dropping like in 8 minutes, so we may stay sideways. Hit the like button, guys. We are 1 like away from 50. Help us squeeze that 50. And subscribe to the channel as well, that helps us a lot. Sorry. Translate your long, good luck. It's from June, so it shouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I've also posted out the video for ECB's President Lagarde where she speak at 1:45. So just keep an eye on the markets then, and seeing some further slow movement towards the downside on the S&P 500, a further move towards the upside on the Dixie, again off the back of Trump's Truth Social that he made say that he would hold Iran accountable for future Houthi strikes, and that he's very disappointed with the Houthis. WTI reversed its gain, and not long after on the next candle, again, and not so much movement that's happening there. More so on the Dixie, and a little bit more on the S&P 500 compared to oil. 5 minutes ago now to give the initial jobless claims data forecast 210k prior 208k. Continued jobless claims forecast 1.809 million prior 1.805 million. Canadian retail sales month-to-month forecast 1% prior 0.5%. Canadian core retail sales month-to-month forecast 1.3% prior 0.1%. And Chicago National Activity Index forecast 0 prior minus 0.1.
Alright. We can drop all the way to 780. I want to go long on this jobless claims thing. Should have stayed on that trade. I don't even know why I got out. You're 666.06 in one account? Yeah, bro, change that. Lose a little bit or make a little bit. Brazil have same time zone. I'm 1 hour ahead of New York time. The S&P is dropping heavier.
Gilts extending decline. UK 10-year yield rising 6 base points to around 5.09%.
I want to go long on these jobless claims. Too much of a sell-off before it.
1 minute ago now to get the initial jobless claims data.
Welcome everyone that is coming in. US jobless claims dropping in 30 seconds. And I'm going long on it. Let's see what happens.
Ten seconds.
It's a nice price action move, actually, Techie.
187k, lower than the forecast of 210k, prior revised to 209k. Continued jobs claims 1.796 million, 1.796 million, lower than the forecast of 1.809 million, prior revised to 1.798 million from the original prior of 1.805 million. Canadian retail sales month on month 1% as expected. Core retail sales for Canada 1.2%, lower than the forecast of 1.3%. Canadian retail sales prior revised to 0.4% from the original prior of 0.5%. Chicago Fed national activity minus 0.02, lower than the forecast of 0.
Yeah, maybe the sell-off continues.
So we have posted out the Canadian retail sales data for May and the Chicago National Activity Index for the month of June on the feed for you to read through. Dixie slightly extending gain after initial jobless claims data lasts about 0.25%.
It's dropping even more on the NASDAQ. There's no signs of holding. Let's see how this 5-minute closes, but if it didn't found buyers yet, it's probably not going to find it. One good thing is that the volume is decreasing, but there's a bunch of sellers, man. Yes, wants to break that low actually. I feel like a flush coming. Yeah. Mr. Pasha, good morning, my friend. Your QQQ put my pay today? Yeah, it's dropping, man. It is actually dropping. Good morning, Mr. Rand Cooper. Was able to lock in about 250 points last night on fund. It's beautiful. Nice. Yeah, there's a bunch of sellers, man. I'm cutting this. It's going to flush all the way down, probably. Up. 789 or 773, which one? I don't understand that, brother. Yeah, guys, but don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's push the stream forward. Thank you very much for being here. Today we have a bunch of nice conversations earlier. You guys should hop in earlier on the day. It's not giving nothing back, man. It's actually dropping. No reason. Hey, 15-minute in the beginning of the stream. Yeah, nice. Yeah, this is 1 hour order block. It's very important in my opinion. I'll try to go along there. We have a heavier size on this eval. Let's see. 783, I'm going long. I guess this is enough. The sweep on NQ is happening right now. Maybe it gets me tapped in on 783. This sweep on S&P just happened. Let's see if it gets me tapped in on the eval. This is the low day of Asia.
S&P 500 E-mini futures last down 0.9%, NASDAQ 100 futures down 1.29%, and Dow futures down 0.96%. So a reminder, at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Time, ECB's President Lagarde is due to hold a press conference post the ECB rate decision. The video is on the feed already for you to watch.
Oh. How you guys doing, my friends? Now trading a whole mini. Thought I never see it. Yeah, this is an eval. Evals I trade bigger size. Evals I trade bigger size. On the funded I trade smaller. Tapped in on the order block. Yeah. If it squeezes into this order block, it's no bueno for me. But it's basically a trade where I was waiting to take. Is the order block of the 1 hour. It's a good spot for rejection. I hope it just holds nicely. If it squeezes too much into it, it's no bueno. But this is an eval. If it's rejects like nicely out of this order block, I'll probably be in a very good spot on this eval. If it doesn't, then we just get another. One by one, guys. One by one. Can we get that 805 level? $100 into that 5 addition. Taking 3 off, holding 7. I'll try to get at 820, 819, another 5 out and hold 2 more. You missed 2 points, okay. On the CFDs, it's 100 points to hit 28,500. The CFD sticks different. Yeah, but it's still heavy, man. Like, it's bouncing out of the order block like usually does, but it's still heavy. I'm still finding buyers. If this candle closes a green candle, it would be awesome. But, like, it's not looking bueno. I'm glad we locked in at least a little bit of profits. Yeah, look at the heavy. Look at the heaviness, man. I don't even understand why, but yeah. Maybe this order block on the 1 hour fails. I'll try to add more at the half of it. Around 749, I guess. Why did I enter without any confirmation? The confirmation is the order block. The order block is the confirmation. Like we can wait. We can wait to see, but like on the way I trade, and I've been trading the order blocks. For me, it's better to go in on the tap of the order block. Oh, gold is doing nice. A nice rejection out of those levels. 66, 3 candles in a row. Rejecting. It's that order block from the indicator. Yeah, on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, yes. The indicator is mega bearish. Look at that. The indicator is mega bearish. Like, the indicator gave a short here at this candle. Like, basically you should be holding shorts from here. That's where you basically should be holding shorts. Lower high broke the EMAs. Right here you got a pullback on the EMA. Could have gone short there as well. Another pullback. Like, it's all shorts on the indicator. But we are at a point where we approach this order block on the 1 hour. I usually like the 1 hour order blocks, but it takes time for it to develop usually. Like, it's going to take at least like 3 or 4 candles to stop price action and pull back up. If it stops. It's all a huge if, you know? It's all a huge if. And I'm taking bigger size because it is an eval. So I take more risks on evals. And I need the trades where we have like a massive risk to reward usually. Until where this is going to go, I actually don't know, my friend. I wish I knew. First thing I need is for this to sweep highs. It's the first thing I need. We're on a like massive like 20 candles without sweeping highs on the 5. This is actually what I need for it to do. I need to take some meds, guys. 1 second. I'm with a little bit of a cold.
S&P 500 index futures extended pre-market declined to 1%. And Lagarde's repeating policy statement.
Bro, you could have tapped me in on those 5. Why is doing me dirty like that? This would be a massive ad. Massive 300 bucks on that trade. Like, it didn't tap me in by like 4 points, bro. But yeah, if it goes up, like, that's already good. Like, if you're here, if you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button. I know you can do it. Subscribe to the channel. I know you can do it. A lot of you come in every day, never subscribe. Join the Discord. It's free. If you need any help with anything, hit us up. There's the questions section there. It's a pleasure to help you guys with whatever you guys need. A little bit of vitamin C and zinc right now, guys. And a little bit of whatever this is that my wife gives me. I need to put this on my nose. So I can... Oh my god. Bro. Straight to my brain.
East Vice President Lagarde, speaking now, says recent data points to some improvement in economic activity.
Cool, so go up. Like if we have improvement in
activity in services partly recovered.
Partly recovered, go up. Like it's good for like a 50-pointer up.
Lagarde says digital services are robust, partly on AI.
Services are robust, bro. You know, she's saying that services are robust. Like we should. That's a good.
Manufacturing has held up.
Manufacture has held up, bro. Like it's a good for like a 50-pointer up. Like she dropped like 5 bars in a row, bro.
Lagarde says higher defense spending is supporting manufacturing.
Higher defense spending. Okay. All those bombs need to pay for something.
Lagarde says firms and households expect the labor market to remain weaker than before the conflict.
Oh, no. Weaker? No. Weaker is no bueno.
To remain modest in the near term.
Modest?
Lagarde says indicators suggest economic activity will remain modest.
No bueno. Modest, no bueno. Oh no. It's already starting to drop.
Says drivers of medium-term growth remain intact.
Medium-term growth remain intact, brother.
Lagarde says urgent action is needed to strengthen the EU area economy.
Yeah, the EU is long on Johnson, bro. You're not getting that better anytime soon. Can we get much higher? You're going for the 853. Good luck for us, Pasha.
Lagarde says fiscal responses to energy shock should be targeted. And they should be temporary.
Should be temporary. That's good, bro. That's good.
Adding that, so fiscal response to energy shock should be targeted, temporary, and tailored.
Oh yeah, temporary, target, all the good stuff. That's good for a 50-pointer up. Like, don't do me dirty like that. Oh, brother. Good for 70? Yeah, bro. Like, this is not looking bueno for me, I gotta tell you. Like, I should have taken the 25 points. The buying volume is good, yeah. The problem is that the candle is closing red, bro. Like, that's the main problem.
Energy shock is feeding into higher prices.
Energy shock is... Bro, she's turning red, bro. Whatever she's saying is not bueno. Where's Trump when you
says
need him?
underlying inflation is contained, yet the full effect has yet to play out.
Oh. She's pulling the J Powell move. She's pulling the J Powell
Lagarde
move.
says surveys indicate moderate wage growth.
Bro, she's pulling the J Powell move, bro. Like the inflation's in the
Lagarde says
rearview
rising
mirror.
productivity helps contain unit labor cost growth.
Like she's pulling the J Powell move. Inflation
Also,
is in the
Lagarde says
rear
most
view
measures of
mirror,
long-term
but it's still
inflation
on the
expectations
horizon.
stand
Like
at
she's
around
pulling
2%.
that. She's pulling the J Powell move. I seen this too much. Inflation is in the rear view mirror, but it's still on the horizon. Like how can you something, bro? Like, you know?
Lagarde says energy inflation is likely to keep inflation well above target into the first half of 2027, and then inflation will decline.
She's doing some bold predictions.
Lagarde says conflict is a major source of uncertainty.
Good morning, Mr. Jack. Jack Potato.
Lagarde adds that risks to growth are tilted to the downside.
Yes, Joss. Just like that, inflation is not a problem, but if it becomes a problem, then it may be a problem. Things are not good. It got worse. Things aren't good. It got bad and it got worse. But it's all under our control.
Lagarde says higher energy prices will weigh on real incomes. Also, Lagarde says energy to keep inflation above target through the first half of 2027.
At least I can see a bounce happening before New York, you know? I think it's a good one to hold, actually. It's like 30% hopium right now. It's like 30. At least the price action is showing that we are actually respecting this order block. Like the price action is at least showing that, you know? The sellers took a break a little bit. So for how long, we don't know. It's 1% chance, 99% faith, bro. Oh no, I don't want to hear sellers, man. I actually
Lagarde
don't want to
says
hear.
risks to inflation outlook are on the upside. Adding that energy shock could intensify further.
Like, can't we be positive for once? Like, it's always energy shocks, uncertainty. It's always
Lagarde
like,
says the longer
oh
energy
my
prices
God.
stay high, the likelihood of second round impacts are higher.
Gramado was so cold.
So again, the longer
Not
energy
much,
prices stay high,
actually. A little
the
bit.
likelihoods that we have second round impacts. Effective Fed funds rate unchanged at 3.63% July 22nd.
How do you know Gramado, brother? You're from Brazil?
Lagarde says extreme weather events and climate crisis could drive up food prices.
They banned green candles, yeah. They are banned in the US right now. Bro, someone passed me a little coat on that trip. Nice first green candle in a while. And instant sellers.
ECB's President Lagarde says that financial conditions are slightly tighter versus last meeting. So again, financial conditions are slightly tighter versus the last meeting.
You know what I need? A huge hook candle. Bro, I'm a bit sick too. Got stomach flu, I think. Why we both sick together? Bro, we are in sync, sick together. Yeah. I got something in probably the jungle. Yeah, bro. Like, this is the spirit, like, I don't know. Always this time of the year, I always get sick. I guess it's the jungle, bro.
Continue New York Times. Ford will use Apple software in new self-driving system.
Yeah, how were you doing the jungle, bro? Long story, brother.
So further from the New York Times, in the first, Apple Maps will influence the way new line of electric vehicles made by Ford operates and other automakers may follow. Ford said Thursday that driver assistance systems in its new electric vehicles would use Apple software, giving the technology company much more central place in vehicle operations than it has ever had. Apple CarPlay, available on many cars, allows drivers to connect their vehicle screens to their iPhones.
Bro, gold is ripping down. Gold is falling off a cliff. Run, Forest. Bro, I'm deleveraging 2 micros here. At least. Yeah, deleveraging 2 micros, holding the next 5.
Brent crude hitting $100 a barrel on Red Sea and Iran supply threats.
Crude is ripping. Gold is falling off a cliff, but it's holding a little bit. It's getting buyers. The S&P is, oh my god. And I'm out of time, guys. Guys, thank you very much. Thank you for the company on the stream. It was awesome to talk to you guys today. Took some trades, took some bad trades, took some good trades.
From Iran's
That's how we roll. Pasha is coming in with his live stream. And hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump to the next stream on the channel with Pasha for New York session. I see you guys there. Thank you very much. See you guys tomorrow. Let's trade nicely today, my friends. Take care.